Brussels bottles it as biggest Russian bank saved from fresh SWIFT ban. The EU has severed 7 Russian banks from the SWIFT financial messaging service, but has saved the nation's biggest lender, Sberbank PJSC, from being cut. The European Union is going to instruct the SWIFT financial network to cut off 7 Russian banks, in a move to pile on economic pressure to the Russian government. However, one of Russia's largest banks, Sberbank, will stay on the books. Many countries, including the Baltic states, are pushing for the EU to delist more banks as they believe the measures are not stringent enough. The formal decision will be taken on Tuesday afternoon by EU ambassadors and voted on by SWIFT's board. Bank of England predicts UK inflation to rise. Michael Saunders, Bank of England policymaker, has said Russia's invasion of Ukraine is likely to push the UK's already soaring inflation even higher. The Bank of England has already forecast inflation will exceed 7% in April. But a higher peak would hurt incomes and spending even further. Sickening hollowness of Putin's excuses for invasion, says British ambassador. Melinda Simmons, the British ambassador to Ukraine, has condemned the sickening hollowness of Putin's war in Ukraine. Ms. Simmons wrote, "A Russian missile hits the Babin Yar Memorial Park in Kyiv where thousands of Jews were murdered by Nazis. In case anyone bought Putin's denazification objective, here's the stark staring proof of its sickening hollowness." China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi and his Ukrainian counterpart, Dmytro Kuleba, have spoken. Mr. Wang told Mr. Kuleba he deeply regrets the conflict and is paying extreme attention to the harm suffered by civilians, according to the AFP news agency quoting Chinese state media. He asked for both sides to find a way to resolve the issue through negotiations. This is the first time the pair have spoken, and Mr. Kuleba asked Beijing to use its ties with Moscow to help halt the invasion. Last week China abstained from a UN Security Council vote condemning the invasion of Ukraine. Boris Johnson declares Putin will fail in rallying cry. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister visited Tapa military base in Estonia and took part in a NATO press conference alongside the Estonian Prime Minister Kaja Kallas and the NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg. Boris Johnson held discussions with the troops that we have sent to help fortify NATO's eastern frontier. The PM highlighted that Britain had provided Ukraine with military equipment, trained 22,000 Ukrainian troops and sent over 2,000 anti-tank weapons, and promised that there was more help to come. He concluded his rallying cry for unity and support of Ukraine by saying, "I have no doubt that Putin will fail, and I can tell that Putin must fail."